Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about synastry aspect involving the Sun, sextile, or trine, the Ascendant. Now, first off, as far as the basic character, which is the Sun, and the outer demeanor of the other person, that's the Ascendant, may be compatible and in harmony. The true self, which is the Sun, and then you have the outer self of the other person, can be compatible, and the Sun person can easily focus and put attention on the positive traits and attributes of the Ascendant person, what the Ascendant person is projecting outwardly. If the Ascendant, let's say the Ascendant person has their Ascendant in Gemini, it could be qualities that are versatile, loquacious, multifaceted, dexterous, adaptable, as some examples, quick-witted, and this also can give the Sun person can readily give attention to that Ascendant person's appearance and also just their without really, and also to give attention to just that person in general without necessarily dominating his or her existence. And the Sun person may have that right amount of drive and motivation to help the Ascendant person with new beginnings. And let's say the Ascendant person has their Ascendant in the zodiac sign Cancer as an example. Those new beginnings can be connected with cooking, restaurant work. It could be doing something in a laundry business, some food business, plumbing. Could be home decoration, home renovation, remodeling, real estate work, as some examples. Could be working as a historian even. And also too, the Ascendant person will often have the vitality to help the Sun person, attain what he or she wants in life. Let's say that the Sun person has their Sun in Aquarius. Well, those things, can be just expressing humanitarianism. It could be friendships, matters with groups, clubs, organizations. It could be goals and aspirations in general. But also it could be, things connected with, innovation endeavors associated with astrology, electronics, computers, aviation, meteorology, as some examples. And really, I'd say mutually, this is a good aspect for having the sinister aspect for both people, having that energy, vitality to do things with others, to collaborate with each other. It could be on creative projects and endeavors. The Sun, is associated with creative energy, and also as well, another thing about this synastry aspect is that the Ascendant person can really be there for that Sun person when necessary. And the thing about this is the Sun person you're talking about can put that that focus and attention on the appearance, the physical body of the Ascendant person without obsessing over it. There's something connected with the Ascendant person. Maybe he or she doesn't look physically well. As an example, the Sun person can show really some the right amount of interest in this and try to help that person be beneficial to that Ascendant person in matters connected with the appearance and physical body. Now the thing about it is too, the Sun person is really if the Sun person, if he or she is in a position of authority over the Ascendant person, this is likely, the Ascendant person can, or if I should say, if the Sun person is a potential authority figure over the Ascendant person may easily make a good first impression on the Sun person. If the Sun person is a prospective employer, this is and if they're working, if this is a situation where you have the the sun, these two people are involved in, a supervisor-employee relationship. It may be, very compatible, and these people can work well together. Because let's say if that sun person is that, person in that, position of authority, and the ascendant person is that subordinate worker at that place of employment. The sun person may admire the ascendant person, those good attributes of the ascendant person that's projected outwardly, and it can be a very good, harmonious setup for that. Now, as I've stated in my earlier videos, the thing about when I talked about natal chart placements, I stated that you never isolate any single one astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person astrologically speaking, because the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. And the same can apply when you're talking about synastry. In astrology, that one aspect doesn't make or break a relationship, and you have to keep in mind, and this is in this synastry aspect, the sun, sextile, or trine, the ascendant in synastry is certainly no exception to that. Now, this is very auspicious, for a connection with people, whether it be a platonic or romantic relationship. At the same time, there can be things, other things to look at in, the natal chart, because I'm sorry, in synastry charts, synastry charts are often going to have a plethora of aspects. So you gotta, you could have something that could offset this one aspect I'm talking about to some degree. You could have, say, if you have the sun making a square or opposition to Pluto in synastry. Let's say that you have this. Okay, let's say that you have two people that have this aspect I'm talking about in this video, right? The sun, sextile, or trine, the ascendant. But those same people have the sun making an adverse aspect to Pluto in synastry. That could be, an aspect, right there where you have, certain issues of power and control. The Pluto person may, obsess over the sun person, to some degree, or want to be, control that person. The sun person may try to really dominate that Pluto person's existence, and you could have a really battle. It could cause, some clashes, with those people. So, and even the sun conjunct Pluto in synastry can do something like that. Pluto, if you have the sun making an adverse aspect to Pluto in synastry, you could have that Pluto person, trying to, manipulate and control, the sun person's existence. There may be some jealousy from the Pluto person directed at the sun individual. But anyway, this aspect by itself is still, very good, and it could be very good as far as a setup for, whether it could be a platonic or romantic connection. The sun person, again, generally, they have that drive, the right amount of drive and motivation to help out the ascendant person in new beginnings. And if the ascendant person, say, is more, they're more successful in their life, based on whether social status or their stature in life in general, then the sun person, it's less likely to affect the sun person's ego negatively. And the sun person may admire or really understand what the ascendant person has done, and actually maybe use the ascendant person to inspire him or her to attain even greater success in their own life. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.